We're going to talk about connected apps and how HubSpot integrates with everything these days and some of the main integration parts. So we've firstly got native apps, and then you've got other apps where we talk about that might be built by others to do with syncing. So the pretty standard ones that we often see is Google Search Console, is something to do with your meetings like Zoom, Teams, Google Meet. Xero is another common one that we see often. And also WhatsApp and LinkedIn Sales Navigator being the others that we want to see. With Xero, so there are two Xero connectors. There's one actually built by HubSpot and there's one built by Xero. So just be aware, because I ran into this the other day when someone was confused because they had the two running and they didn't know which did what. Just be aware of what the Xero app does, because you might find very similar apps in the store and you might be confused. So have a look. The giveaway is usually what data gets synced or what the features are that take place. So often the HubSpot ones will sync data between apps, and it'll do that for many different objects, whereas the specific ones made, like the Xero one, I think you can create an invoice straight out of HubSpot using that. Am I correct?
I'm not exactly sure, because we don't use it for creating Xero invoices from HubSpot. Where we often see it and how we use it ourselves is pulling invoices out of Xero back into HubSpot, because we like to see it against contacts and companies. And the reason we highlight Xero often is because, first of all, we'll chat with clients and they're like, oh, you know what would be really good is if we could get some financial data back into HubSpot. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that'd be good. And so what do you use? Oh, yeah, we use Xero. I'm like, oh, have you used the Xero app? And they're like, what? There's a Xero app? Yeah, there is. And again, there's just so many things to be across in HubSpot. It's a bit of a beast of a platform now. And so the whole purpose of today's episode is, the Xero one. And so you can just connect that in and just pull invoices back, and it'll log the invoices against the contact by default. It'll match that from Xero. But then you can also create some workflows that will show it against deals, even if you can be that specific, but normally against the company. And so the reason we use it is because if we're planning with clients or maybe a deal's going through, we often wait for the invoice to be paid before we start work. And so the delivery team, I don't want our delivery team going into Xero or having to chase accounts. It's all just there in HubSpot. And I think that's pretty common with a lot of businesses. And then the other thing that's really good about it, and you might think this is a little bit strange, but you can very easily compare deal amount, results with actual financial results. So when the sales team, we've got the pipeline, we closed $1 million last quarter. It's like, oh, hang on, I'm not seeing that in the invoices that have been synced back. Where's the discrepancy kind of thing? So it's a bit of a double check there as well.
And the other thing is you don't have to double handle data. So you can create a list of when they get to a particular deal stage to sync all of the contact data into Xero. So when the invoice gets done, you don't even have to go and cut and paste. All right, let's talk about some of the third-party ones that potentially people have, is ones like Zapier and Make, Craig, where they want to push data to other platforms that might not directly connect with HubSpot.
Yeah. The reason I wanted to keep this in, because it's not really a fundamentals. If you're going out to Zapier, that's a bit more advanced. But you've got to be really careful, because we've got projects at the moment where we're trying to clean up. They've connected Zapier in. It's causing all kinds of problems, especially from WooCommerce, e-commerce platforms. It's overriding data. And you've got to be really careful with it. It's almost too easy to connect into HubSpot and push data in. I just wanted to highlight that almost as a fundamental. Be very careful, these external connectors. And of course, you can get custom integrations via HubSpot's beautiful API. We won't be covering that in the episode though.